Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for you to confirm.
Oh no. Oh, am I ready? Yeah, there's nothing on here yet.
Oh. Well, that's what I'm waiting for.
It just says waiting for Treasury.
I'm live.
There you are.
Okay. Good. Whoa! We made it! Yay! Oh my God. Thank you all those of you who were here last week for hanging out as long as you did. Thank God Lauren was here to entertain you and to... Why is this showing? There we go.
Your lamp is shut.
That's what I just said. Why is my lamp showing? There we go. Anyway, thanks to Glenn Rothel, who worked with me for an hour after I let you all go. We've got this figured out, and I don't think we're going to have any more problems. So I'll keep my fingers crossed and knock on wood, of course, because there's always something with technology. But I'm so grateful to be here with you, and I'm grateful that you are here with me. And as you know, what we're doing tonight is most of the songs from Roses in November, which was my 2018 CD. And it's a CD I'm very proud of, as I am all my work. So yeah, each month I'm going to choose a different CD to present to you. And this month is Roses in November, and I'm starting with the title song, which is a slightly tongue-in-cheek climate change song. I shouldn't say tongue-in-cheek, it's just a much more innocent climate change song than ones I've written since. Because back in 2018, what we were dealing with was longer falls, hotter summers, but now it's just what's happening now is absolutely atrocious. Tornadoes where tornadoes have never been, massive hurricanes, hot weather, cold weather, all of it. And when I wrote this song, gas prices were the lowest they had been in a while, which is why I called it a tongue-in-cheek song, because the main line is, let's go drive in the countryside, gas is much cheaper these days. Well, now, gas is very expensive, so expensive that some people are having to quit their jobs because they can't afford to get to work. Meanwhile, we know what's going on in his head, but we won't talk about that. So here is Roses in November. Fall is showing up much later this year. Roses blooming in November. I picked tomatoes from the garden last week. Another unseasonable season. Peppers red and hot and dropping to the ground. And I've got a fall crop of zucchini. It's still too soon to rake the autumn leaves. Another unseasonable season. Did you notice that the hurricanes are fiercer? Tornadoes tearing up and ripping our towns. But let's go driving through the countryside. Gas is much cheaper these days. I bought some apples, not a blemish to be found, though the limes are hard and thready. And does the rice seem more expensive than before? Another unseasonable season. And did you notice that we had more rain? Though other states are deep in drought, still let's go driving through the countryside. Gas is much cheaper these days. So we go out and buy a brand new truck. Hell, the rates are really low. We could drive across the state so fast and outrun the storm that's about to blow. Did you notice that the hurricanes are fiercer? Tornadoes tearing up and ripping our towns. But let's go driving through the countryside. Gas is much cheaper these days. Fall is showing up much later this year. Roses blooming in November. I picked tomatoes from the garden this week. It's so unseasonable these days. Thank you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Lauren's giving me a strange look.
No, just stress. It's just stress showing up on my face.
Well, this next song, I'm sort of doing the songs I've chosen, pretty much doing in order on the album, because if I made the album order, it should carry through to a live show as well. I've got a little sharp nail I gotta get rid of. I pulled the wrong side of it. So the second song on this album is the song I wrote for my father, a song that I do almost every show because it's important to me, because I loved my dad and he lived to be 99 years old. But the other reason I love to do it is because people relate to it. And as a songwriter, that is the greatest compliment, because it's a personal story. It's about my dad and what he went through and how he lived. But I find that people come up to me and they say, that's my dad. My dad lived to be in his 90s. My dad played baseball. My dad was a golfer. Whatever, and they come up in tears to tell me how their lives have been affected by their dad. And I'm one of the lucky people whose father was a wonderful, sweet, kind man. And so I wanted to honor him, right? Now, you also know that my dad was big on sports. He was a huge sports fan. In fact, he was 8th of 11 children in his family. There were 5 girls and 6 boys. They all went dancing every weekend. They went to the closest town because they grew up on a farm in Winnebago County in northern Iowa. But they would go into town and dance. But my dad was the first. He was the 8th of the 11th, and he was the first to go all the way through school. And he lived to play baseball. And this is him at Rake High School. This was my dad in high school on the baseball team. And he went on from the baseball team, from high school to college baseball. And then he became a history teacher and a coach. And he coached baseball. And he joined the city league so he could keep playing. And he played baseball in the city league as long as he could. And when he couldn't play anymore, he became an umpire. And when he couldn't ump anymore, he took up golf. And golf then became his even bigger passion. So much so that he quit working. He retired in his 50s so that he could play golf full time. That's how dedicated he was. And here's a picture of my dad on the golf course. He had a very interesting swing. Not your usual swing. But boy, was he determined. You just knew he was going to hit that ball far. And he did. He was a great golfer. He played golf till he was 98. And the only reason he quit was because he had the shingles so badly that it was too painful to play. But he played almost to the very end, and he would have played to the very end if he didn't have shingles. Now, the other interesting thing is that my dad lost his central vision in his late 70s to ischemic neuropathy. Every time he had one lens implant, he had a stroke. His vision was gone. He had his other eye done. He had another stroke. So he had no central vision. And I have no peripheral vision because I live with retinitis pigmentosa. So this is the two of us, because we loved playing golf together. We played a lot of golf together. But it got to the point where he had no central vision, I had no peripheral vision. Between us, we had a set of eyes. But if we didn't have a spotter, if we didn't have someone to play with us, we didn't know where the ball went. And I remember one time in particular, we were on the 6th hole and we were so tired of trying to find our ball that my dad said to me, you want to just quit? And I said, absolutely. I'd rather go sit by the pool. So that was the last time that we played golf together. But he didn't stop. My daddy was so cool. First in the family to high school. He'd never rest till he aced his test. Baseball was his golden rule. My father loved the game. Big town hero with small town fame. He'd block the plates till the runners fade. Baseball was his middle name. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your feet firmly planted. Take that swing when the pitch feels right. Trust your instincts, trust your truth. Hit that ball just like Babe Ruth. My father taught us lessons from home plate. And my daddy was so neat, and his temperament was soft and sweet. A boy well groomed, the girls would swoon. His dapper ways and dancing feet. Out in the Chevrolet, off to the dance the band would play. He'd spin and twirl those pretty girls, and he'd dance a swing to the light of day. Keep your ear to the beat, keep your feet firmly planted. Take that dance when the song feels right. Trust your instincts, trust the air. Swing that date like Fred Astaire. My father taught us lessons from home plate. His golf game is still fine. 6 holes in one since he's gone blind. 18 holes, 98 years old. Sound of body, sound of mind. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your feet firmly planted. Take that swing when the wind feels right. Trust your instincts, trust your creed. Hit that ball like old Sam Snead. My father taught us lessons from home plate. My father taught us lessons from home plate. My father taught us lessons from home plate. Thank you. I did that a half step too high. I thought it felt a little high. I forgot to move my capos.
Okay, Dale.
This song is about a woman who self-deported back to Veracruz, where she was originally from. Now, self-deporting was a fairly new term back in 2017 when I wrote this, or when I read the story. It was a term that lawyers had made up for people who went back, of course, to their home country voluntarily, even though many of them were born here. And now self-deporting is happening a lot because it's so dangerous for people, and they're putting them in prisons. They're putting them basically concentration camps. And there was a story last week about a woman who was on her way back. She chose to self-deport to a country she was not really from anymore, and they arrested her, and she was in a confinement. She was confined. I don't know if they've let her go back yet. I mean, she was on her way. They are so evil. But this is her story. She was living in Hampton, Iowa, which was a sanctuary city. And she had been living there with her husband. They had a business. They would clean hog farms, a successful business. And they had a son, Stephen, who at the time that she deported was 12. And her husband was deported 3 times, so much so that they would not let him back after the 3rd time. So at one point, this county sheriff decided to take away the sanctuary status for the town. So there was no reason for her to stay anymore. So she and her son went back to Veracruz. Pray for these people, please. It's quitting time for Edith Rivera. She's serving one last Mexican meal and heading down the dusty farm road, the pedal and the wheel. No legal status in this country, though she's lived here 18 years. No driver's license in her wallet, just expired hopes and fears. Not afraid of the man in the red tie or the county sheriff's quest. This rapidly diverse farm town, no longer a place of rest. Not afraid to be pulled over or how she still will cope. Some politicians call it self-deportation. She calls it her only hope. Driving down to meet her son, Stephen's in the 7th grade. He's only once been to Veracruz, American born and raised. Her husband has already gone, deported 2015. So she sells off what the family has built, the furniture and machines. Not afraid of the man in the red tie or the county sheriff's quest. This rapidly diverse farm town, no longer a place of rest. Not afraid to be pulled over or how she still will cope. Some politicians call it self-deportation. She calls it her only hope. This country's freckled with Ediths and Hamptons, and immigrants who build the town squares, transforming businesses, working the fields, but now they're all running scared. Ooh. Wretched poverty awaits her. There's nothing here she can call home. Edith scrolls through her memories like pictures on a phone. Now they board their Mexican flight. Algún día, she says, someday. The Delta agent asks, do you have a return? And she says, no return, just one way. Not afraid of the man in the red tie or the county sheriff's quest. This rapidly diverse farm town, no longer a place of rest. Not afraid to be pulled over and how she still will cope. Some politicians call it self-deportation. She calls it her only hope. Some politicians call it self-deportation. She calls it her only hope. Thank you. The things we do. Well, we don't, but some people do. It's pretty horrendous what's happening in our world. But we will keep fighting the good fight. We will all vote in the midterms, right? And make a difference and change this pattern of behavior. Try to move things in the right direction. And hopefully he won't last the whole 4 years. Be it impeachment or his failing health.
Say anything else?
That's all I'm going to say. All right, I'm sorry. I've been talking too much about politics. It's on my mind. It's on my mind. I watch way too much news. What's that?
So this will be up.
Oh yeah, this will be up for a while. So you can, if you want to get overwhelmed and depressed, just watch this. So we'll move on to something a little brighter. How about that? This is a song that came out of one of my boot camps. As you know, or many of you know, boot camp is a workshop I teach every year on Whidbey Island, and it's been held for 14 years. It was held at the home of Colonel Greta Kammermeyer and her wife Divelbess. But they have had to move. They're downsized. They're getting older, as we all are. And so we did this past year. We did a short weekend, and it was held at the Episcopal Church on the island. And we're going to try to keep it going as best we can. But the great thing about this workshop is, even though every year we have some new people, there is a core group of women, and mostly women have come to this. We've had men come several times, but the core group comes every year. And it is such an honor to me to have those people come every year. But of course that means I have to work really hard. I have to come up with something new every time, because we always start with a group song. I come with the chorus and a verse, and we write a group song, and then I put them free to write their own songs. And this particular year, I decided I was going to put a whole bunch of objects on the dining room table, and then everyone would pick one object and write a song about that. And Diane, Greta's wife, Diane, and I worked for a long time trying to find things to put on the table, because she's an artist. She has this amazing studio. So we ended up with like a cowboy hat, a paintbrush, a writing journal, a baseball cap, Valentine, job application, what else? Jewelry, all kinds of things. And everybody took something, and the only thing left on the table was the job application. Now, I also do the exercises with my students. I always write a song, and often I get a good song. So I had to write a song about a job application. Now, I have never in my life had to apply for a job. I mean, I have been a musician all my life, or a sound engineer. But there was one summer when I was 16 that I had a job. I don't remember filling out a job application, but I had a job at Montgomery Ward's in the shoe department in the summer. You can just think about how gross that is. Yeah, stinky feet is right. But, I had the job for the summer. And the great thing was there was this young gay man that was working there too. So, this was meant to be. But the other thing they would have me do that summer when I was working is during sidewalk sale days, they had me perform in Montgomery Ward's right by the front door. And here I am performing for the patrons on the street in Montgomery Ward's. And I'm wearing a dress that I made, because I used to make my own clothes, because I couldn't find Nehru shirts, bell bottoms, Nehru collared dresses. So I made my own clothes, and I'm playing my Gibson Hummingbird, which I still own. So I love this picture, because first of all, you'll never see me in a dress again. And just the fact that was part of what I did. So here's Unemployment Blues. Walked in the employment office, picked up a form, never answered questions like this as long as I've been born. Always worked in music or sound engineer. This simple job application is everything I fear. 'Cause I know my name, know where I'm from, but I don't know what I'd do if I didn't do what I've done. My education doesn't come with a degree. Just try to check my references, you'll see just what I see. Could you do a spreadsheet or other desktop work? Try telemarketing or be a retail clerk. do a line, cook or maid, even clean. The only thing I've ever done is dream my dreams. I know my name, know where I'm from, but I don't know what I'd do if I didn't do what I've done. My education doesn't come with a degree. Just try to check my references, you'll see just what I see. I can help you write a song, I can teach guitar, I can paint your pooch, boy, I can drive a car. But put me in an office and watch my motor skills run dry. My oh my, my oh my. 'Cause I know my name, know where I'm from, but I don't know what I'd do if I didn't do what I've done. My education doesn't come with a degree. Just try to check my references, you'll see just what I see. Yeah, try to check my references, you'll see just what I see. Or try to check my references, you'll see just what I see. That is a lot of fun to sing. It's so much fun to play on 12 string too. When I do perform it, I don't usually travel with a 12 string. This was a gift from one of my longtime students, Joni Waddles, who passed away several years ago now. It's actually, she was one of the reasons I wrote Home You Go. She left me this guitar, and it's just a beauty. So it's fun to play, even though I don't play it often. Yeah, so that's Unemployment Blues. Now the next song is a song called Keister. And it is about the town. Oh, I'm twisted.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, well, we know that, yeah. Smart ass. We love this smart ass. Anyway, Keister is a town in southern Minnesota where my grandparents lived when they retired from farming. They, as I mentioned, they lived in Winnebago County, Iowa, which is the northwest corner of Iowa. And just a few miles up the road, you're in Minnesota and you're in Keister. And it was a tiny little town. What am I doing here? Of 700 people. Now it's 420, I think. But it was, it's a town I remember well, because we would go there every year for the family reunion. And we took my dad to the family reunion in 2018, the year he passed. And I'm so grateful my three brothers and I went with my dad and his wife Jackie for the Memorial Weekend, for the family reunion, which is always Memorial Weekend. And it was the last time he got to see his family. So it was very special. And we were sitting one day before the reunion. We went into town, and we were sitting at my cousin Suzanne, who has since passed away, on her lawn, and she lived across the street from our grandma and grandpa's house. My dad was sitting in a lawn chair, just looking at that house longingly, thinking. I just wonder what was going through his head, because he was just deep in thought. But this was the house that my grandparents lived in. Now, at the time, it wasn't sided like this. It had that awful fake brick asbestos siding. Ugh. But this is how it looked now. And this room, this front porch, is where I used to sleep when we lived in Iowa, when my parents would take me to my grandparents and drop me off for a week or a weekend, and I would help my grandma in the garden. I would do whatever. But I slept on that porch. I slept in a daybed. And across the street was a park. And in the summer, they would put up a roller skating rink in that park. So I would lie in bed listening to the sound of wooden wheels on wooden boards as people danced on their skates round and round to songs like, "It's been a blue, blue day. I feel like running away. I feel like running away from it all." Such great memories. Now, As I mentioned, it was a small town, but it also had a very wide main street. And this is my brother and his daughter, my younger brother, standing in the middle of the street in Keister. You had to have big streets like that because you were farmers, and you had to be able to turn your wagon around or turn your buggy around on Sundays. So these towns always had these massive, wide main streets. And a lot of those towns are gone because as goes the farm, so goes the town. Now there was also, and still is, this wonderful theater, Key Theater in Keister. And it still is alive. It still shows movies, and it still has concerts. Mainly it does concerts. And I've been trying to get a show there. And I still want to get a show there at some point. But we'll see. But the other picture I want to show you before I do this song is this one. Because one year, when we were all very young, the reunion was held in the park across the street from Grandma and Grandpa's because there weren't that many people. And it was a big park with lots of a lot of picnic tables. And one year, my Italian grandmother and my cousin and my uncle Nick over here came. I think my cousin Mary Ann came too, but my uncle Nick brought my nanan, and that's the only time that my Italian grandmother and my Norwegian grandmother and grandfather were together, and that's just such a precious photo to me. Can you all see that? Is it visible?
Just stop moving. You're very.
That's hard to do when I'm talking.
And basically you're cutting their bodies off. It's all trees.
Oh.
You gotta lift it up a little more.
How about that?
I don't know, I'm delayed.
That's good. Anyway. So, yeah. But then we got so big because my grandpa Clement married Anna Flo, and Anna's brother Stefan married Clement's sister Ella in a double wedding, and they had 17 children between them. So I had 50 first cousins. So we had to move it to Trinity Lutheran Church, which was nearby, so that we could all fit, we could all eat, and we could all be outside and take these big photos of this whole family. Just wonderful memories. Now, I went through Keister on my way to move to the Midwest. I left Oregon. I had left the West Coast where I had lived for 30 years, and I had left my 20-year relationship, packed up a truck, and drove across country. And when I got to Minnesota, I decided to stop in Keister, which was right off of 90, and take video, because I wanted to do a video about my song Ancestors, about my grandparents. And I didn't want to see anyone because I wasn't in a good way, so I just kind of snuck through town in a Ryder truck. But nobody came out, so I took my video and I went on my way, and I stopped at the edge of town, got something to drink, and this old guy comes out in his mechanics, his coveralls, his hands in his pockets, and he says, "Hey, you're a furry, aren't you?" Now, most of my relatives are furries, not furies. And I said, "Yeah, how did you know?" He says, "Well, my phone's been ringing off the hook all morning." So much for sneaking. I turned off of 90, south on 22, heading down the 2-lane into town. Driving a Ryder truck, my car in tow behind. I think I might have passed my uncle's farm. And I'm on my way to somewhere new with an urge to glimpse the old, to see if Grandma's house is still the same. With a movie camera as my eye and wonder as I go, capturing my past in moving frames. And don't you know, behind those curtains and all those weathered panes are whispers, there are strangers on the street. And if I had the strength of heart, I'd knock on all those doors and find out what it's like to never leave. Well, my grandma's house is standing, I almost see her standing too. And here it's been a blue, blue day from the park. And though the roller rink has come and gone, the skin is still up light, I'm quite surprised it hasn't gone dark. And Kenny's pool hall isn't there now, and he has long been gone, but the family still owns Grandma's place. Well, I drove away before I had the nerve to ask around, but at the time there were things I couldn't face. And don't you know, behind those curtains and all those weathered panes are whispers, there are strangers on the street. And if I had the strength of heart, I'd knock on all those doors and find out what it's like to never leave. Well, I can't imagine what it's like to live one place and never leave, to live your life in just one town, to have no chance to move away, or maybe never want to. So I tell myself that I'll go back, and this time really stay, and look into the eyes of my family, and I'll ask them all to tell me tales that I have long since lost. I hope I have the sense to fill that dream, and I will sit behind those curtains and all those weathered panes, and I won't be the stranger on the street, to hear the stories from the heart and open up old doors and find out what it's like to never leave. It's been a blue, blue day. I feel like running away. I feel like running away from it all. Thank you. That's a fun song to play and sing. I'm always happy to do that song. Now next song is a tribute to one of the first, it's a tribute to the Pulse nightclub and the people that we lost that night. It was one of the first really large mass shootings that we had. And it affected, of course, the gay community, because Pulse was a gay nightclub. And someone decided to take out a bunch of people. And of course himself as well. And it was a very moving story and a very difficult time. They just recently, in this last year, tore down the nightclub. And it's sad to see it gone, but it's been gone for a while, really. So I was moved. As many as songwriters are, we write about what we hear, what we know, and I just had to write about this instant because it reminds me how important love is, and how love is the one thing that will get us through, especially in these times. 50 killed and just as many wounded deeply. Deeply wounded is a way that we are feeling. You wake one morning and you don't move quite as freely. Hearts all broken and spirits torn and reeling. But what possessed a man to take so many with him? When you hate yourself, why can't that be enough? The hatred grows, devouring all so greedy, standing all with the tremendous power of love. Saturday night and the music's pulsing loudly, loudly pulsing to the beat of celebration. Time to be yourself and stand so proudly. When a man walks in with a plan of annihilation, what right has he to choose who lives and dies here? Isn't taking just your own life quite enough? But hatred grows, devouring all so cowardly, stranding all but the tremendous power of love. So take these guns out far beyond the deepest ocean, and take your bigotry and toss it in the sea. Let it drown beneath your darkest dead emotions. Let it go, so we can once again feel free. 50 killed and just as many wounded deeply. Deeply wounded is the way that we are feeling. You wake one morning and you don't move quite as freely. Hearts all broken and spirits torn and reeling. What possessed a man to take so many with him? When you hate yourself, why can't that be enough? But hatred grows, devouring all so greedy, strangling all but the tremendous power of love. But hatred grows, devouring all so cowardly, strangling all but the tremendous power of love. Let us stand tall through the tremendous power of love. Thank you. And let's all stand tall with the tremendous power of love on Sunday, on No King's Day. Please. All right. This next song is about a time of my life when I lived in Libertyville, Illinois, which is just a bit north of Chicago. My dad moved us, we moved a lot. We moved 6 times until before I graduated from high school. And we weren't even a military family. But my dad sold life insurance. So every time he got a promotion, we moved. And he became a district agent outside of Chicago. And but he worked in Waukegan, but we lived in Libertyville because it was a nicer community. It was a little bedroom community. It was a home of Adlai Stevenson at its time, its claim to fame. And we lived on a 1-block street called Elm Court, because at the time it had a beautiful canopy of elm trees all down the block. It was a 1-block street, only a 1-block street. Wasn't a dead end, but it was not a pass-through. So people didn't come up and down that street unless you lived on it. So we could play in the street, we'd play kick the can, we could play in the empty lot, and we'd play baseball and softball and football. We could ride our bikes everywhere. It was a lovely time. I was, 7 to 11, as I said. Now, I did go back one time. I went back many, many years later. I was in Chicago, and I decided I would drive through and just check out the old neighborhood. And it was amazing to me. I mean, of course, we lost all the elm trees to Dutch elm disease, and they replanted it with maples. And by the time I went back, all the maples were grown. And again, it was an archway of maples all down the street. So I drove up this beautiful street and I stopped in front of my house, which, when you're a kid, the house looked huge. And when I drove by it, it looked really kind of diminutive. I mean, it's a good size house. This was the house I lived in.
It's huge.
It was a cream color. I know, it really was a big house, but when I looked at it as an adult, it was like, oh, that's not as big as I remember it, But yeah, it was a beautiful house with a beautiful porch. I used to sit on that porch and watch the lightning bugs. Oh, I loved that time, It was a magical time. And the great thing is, for us, was that my grandmother, my Italian grandmother, spent every summer with us because Papa, my grandfather, died at quite a young age. In fact, I don't think I ever, if I met him, I was a baby because I don't remember him at all. And Russ was very young, and he remembers when he passed away. So she became the ward of her 2 daughters, and she would winter, spring, and fall in Yonkers, New York, and summer with us. And we would love when Nanan would show up. She'd come by train, we'd go to the train station, we'd pick her up. You could pick her out of a crowd because even in the middle of summer, she would be dressed like this. She would come in her black, either fur or woolen overcoat and a hat and her sensible shoes. And you just, it didn't matter what the weather was. She always came like that. And she'd spend the entire summer with us. She would sew for my mother. And for a while, she sewed for me until I told her I didn't want any flowery Bermuda shorts anymore. And she would cook for us. Oh, it was just wonderful to have her. And she would always have a little coin purse in her apron. And when the Good Humor Man came up the street, she would take out a few coins so we could buy ice cream. She would always say, "You like, I buy, quan camin check," which meant when she got her Social Security check, she would buy us ice cream. Cream-colored stucco loomed large in my youth, now shrunk to the length of the years ahead of me. The old in the driveway, 7 years young, my brothers and I on the street. "Get in here for supper," my mother would shriek. Macaroni and gravy gone cold and weak. Nanan in her rocker, my mom at the sink. My childhood hard yet so sweet, so sweet. Games in the empty lot, games on the pavement, no cars on this one-block Paradise Drive. Libertyville, outside of Chicago, some of the best years of my life. But much better in hindsight, such awkward times, but days that roll on like a carnival. The past stays the past, and the future too present. Best to just take it all in stride. Take it in stride. Old age, young dreams, muddled in the middle. Bigger than life, this flash from the past. Time can be so strange in the riddle, but through fortune our memories last. The elm's now gone, a canopy of maples, gone like the childhood of yesterday. So many kids, all on one block, and hens in the yard across the way. Asparagus in the backyard, now gone to seed. My father would garden, my mother would feed us, and little Caesar, he was my best friend. Old fabrics torn now and frayed, torn and frayed. Old age, young dreams, muddled in the middle. Bigger than life, this flash from the past. Time can be so strange in the riddle, but through fortune our memories last. Thank you so much. So, just so you know, Little Caesar, I was not referring to the pizza, because there was no Little Caesar pizza back in the 50s and into the early 60s. But that was the name of my best friend. His name was Greg Wright. He was known as Little Caesar. We were inseparable. I was Big Tret. He was Little Caesar. It was Big Tret and Little Caesar. And then all the boys, everyone grew up, got taller than me. I just sprouted early, but then I stopped. But anyway, I always wondered what happened to Greg Wright, to Little Caesar. So my dear wife, Lauren, who is the premium researcher, can find anything, found this picture of Greg Wright. And that's when I knew him. I don't know what year this was, 7 or 8 or 9 years old maybe, but I just think it's amazing that she found this picture. So I wanted to share it with you so you could know that is who Little Caesar is, not the pizza. So before I continue anymore, I just want to do a quick PSA, because you know I do this, and let me put up this screen also real quickly. This is one of the ways I make my living, as you know. The concert is always free, but if you care to donate, tell me if I'm in the screen. I think I am. If you care to donate, let me back it up a little. You can do so at tretfury.com/events, and the first thing on that page is this show, and there's a ticket link, and you can donate $20. Yeah, or you can go to paypal.me at tretfury, and you can donate any amount. You can also go to Venmo, and my Venmo is tret-fury. And also now you can go to Zelle as well. If you want to go to Zelle, it's tied to my email address, tretfury@gmail.com. If you're on my website, also check out my shop, where you can find all my CDs. You can also find my pet portraits if you look under the About link. I think it's the About link. And the last thing I want to mention is my Patreon account, because you have made my life so much easier. You know, I don't have much more work this summer. Let me take this off. I'm not complaining. I actually need this time off because for one thing, we're hopefully going to be selling the house and moving to a new house. But also I want to start preparing for another CD. I have quite a few songs. I have to see how many. I have to put them together and see what else I need to write, and I also need to start fundraising for the next album. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time this summer on those two things, the house and putting together songs. And then I'll be back on the road in September. But this month I will be, the next thing I have is South Shore Pride in Hingham, Massachusetts, and then Old Songs Festival the following weekend in Altamont, New York, near Albany. So all that stuff's, of course, on my website. So anyway, that's all I want to say about that. And I appreciate anything you can donate, and I also just appreciate that you're here. You don't ever feel obligated. This is a song for my beautiful wife. Well, life has not been easy. There's so much pressing on you. Between the kids and me, you're stretched thin. Far beyond that sadness and all that frustration lies a beauty that we share from deep within. You get up each morning and you're off to work each day, and I try to make it easy as you go. But I'm not always here, and you're on your own and lonely, and the kids aren't often close enough to hold you. But we love you with all our hearts, we love you with all our souls, we love you with every bit of who we are. 'Cause you're amazing, you're amazing, you are. We just want you to know, though we're not always there to tell you, that you hold us all together with your glue. It binds us like nothing we have ever known. It's supple, it stretches, it's true. And we love you with all our hearts. We love you with all our souls. We love you with every bit of who we are. 'Cause you're amazing. You're amazing. You are. Thank you. Got 2 more songs. I know I'm running a little bit long, but I'll try to play them as quickly as possible. This song is something that I never thought I'd do again, but I've done it a few times. And it's a song about him. I wrote it up in his first selection, but unfortunately it is still way too current. And it's fun to sing. So sing it with me, if you know it. Number 45. There's sickness in the White House, no sense of legacy. They're pulling all the punches, no feel for destiny. Rolling back advances made on so many fronts, beefing up the oil-hungry, food-licking grunts. How will we eradicate this trumped-up misery? Take us to the hill, Lord, let us fight this disease. Wait a minute, second, this is not working. There's madness in the Senate, madness in the House. Executive orders pouring out his pooched out little mouth. Republicans won't challenge him, they don't have the balls. Afraid to face constituents, afraid to take their calls. But how will we eradicate this trumped up misery? Take us to the hill, Lord, let us fight for victory. People are quite angry, people are so done. I've never seen so many motivated to run for a government position, for a chance to make a change. Striking while the iron's hot, while the target is in range. How will we eradicate this trumped up misery? Take us to the hill, Lord, let us fight for liberty. Poison in the White House, no love of history. They're killing off the planet, no sense of destiny. Making empty promises they have no plans to keep. Beefing up the money-grubbing, dirty little chiefs. How will we eradicate this trumped-up misery? Take us to the hill, Lord, let us fight for victory. Take us to the hill, Lord, let us fight this for sanity. Take us to the hill, Lord, let us fight for liberty. Yeah! Enough of that. Thank you all so much for being with me tonight. You know how much I appreciate it. And I'm just glad everything worked out tonight. My next live stream will be on July 15th. That is the Wednesday in July that I will be available, and I hope you will be too. I know it's hard in the summer because, oops, that's not good. Because we all have things going on, there we go, in our summers. But if you care to join me, it'll be... I'm not sure which album I'm going to choose next. You can make some suggestions if you want. So far I've done The Horizon and Roses in November. So thank you so much. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And I will see you either here or on the road. I am sitting in this circle with my humble guides, surrounded by the ones I love, protected on all sides, breathing out and breathing in, and holding all that's fine. Though the world around me shatters, I center on this time. If for just one moment we are still beneath the dark and the dreary, if we could shine a light so strong, we may not feel so weary. If for just one moment we are still beneath the dark and the dreary, if we could shine a light so strong, we may not feel so weary. Breathing out and breathing in, and holding all that's fine. Though the world around me shatters, I center on this time. For I am sitting in this circle with my humble guides, surrounded by the ones I love, protected on all sides. Thank you all so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate it so very much. And I will hopefully see you next month. Maybe I'll see you at one of the festivals I'm doing this month. Or else I'll see you in the fall. Keep an eye on my schedule. And thank you very much.